Yes, half-time from the Etihad Stadium. Manchester City 1, Everton 1. First things first, great start for City. Great goal for Bernardo Silva, the captain today. What do you make of that one?
Yeah, I think it was a little bit of luck. The spin on the ball from the deflection, that's been going against us. Today was the first one we've had in a while. And a great start, which was reflective of the first 10 minutes. We totally dominated the half as well, FG. So we were really disappointed.
Yeah, absolutely disappointed. We'll come to the Ndiaye goal in a second, but there was a chance for that man again, Bernardo Silva, at 1-0. It seemed like he took it with the outside of his boot. You see exactly what he's trying there, because if that goes in, it's a fantastic goal. He had a little bit more time though, didn't he?
Yeah, when they moved the ball brilliantly, 2 or 3 passes, and the weight of the pass from Foden was perfection. As he steps onto it, you just think you're waiting, because Pickford's just stood, just hoping if he hits the target, it's a goal. And it was a fabulous bit of play, which was reflective of how the game was at that point. We were so on top.
I mean, I think it's fair to say the goal that Everton did score was against the run of play. This first half performance seemed to be really controlled by City. We looked a lot more like ourselves than a lot of little passes in the middle between Kovacic, Bernardo and players. But the goal came from, I mean, a bit of a frustrating one. The ball goes in the air, we don't quite get control of it, and it comes across. But the finish from Ndiaye was fantastic, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, the credit's got to go to the striker. I mean, the finish is fabulous outside of his foot in the far corner. There's a couple of chances, I think Akanji just missed with his right foot, and then Rico Lewis, who's turning back towards play, can't get set right, and he's got to still complete the finish, and the finish was brilliant.
It just seems like at the minute every single thing seems to be going against us where it matters, but there is a lot of positives to take from that first half. I want to talk to you about the wingers. Savinho, very, very positive. You mentioned it on GoComs. He's sort of he needs to go at him a lot more, the fullback, because he's beaten him a few times, and he'll be feeling really good, won't he?
Yeah, and he's been left with Ndiaye because Mikolenko's narrowed right in alongside the double up when Haaland pulls off. So he's got a chance to get one on. I think we've got to take them chances. If we go left to right, right to left, they manage to get set, and Everton's set are very dangerous. When we create a one-on-one, we must go on the outside, or we must make something happen.
We've seen with Sean Dyche's teams as well how good they are at, you know, getting in and doing the low block and stuff, and that's exactly what we've seen. You've mentioned the fullbacks have come in very narrow, and it's almost sometimes a back 6.
Yes.
How does City go ahead and break this down?
Well, you get shots off on the edge of the box, you try and work your way in, you try little 1-2s in around the box, inventive, and we have done with Phil. Phil's been very, very good that half. Little pockets of space, and been really impressed with him, and the chances will come, but we've got to make sure we take that opportunity in them one-on-ones.
Well, 45 minutes to go. You'll be hearing from this man amazingly on CoCom, so make sure you tune into that. But let's for now head to the studio, where I'm sure they're going to unpick the first half.
Thank you, FG. Thank you, Andy Morrison. Thank you, Alistair Mann on commentary. And thank you to you for joining me in the studio at half-time. Paul Dickov and Steve Howie alongside me. Paul, assessment of them first 45 minutes, please.
Frustrating. I think we've been very good. Not quite back at our best, but been a lot better than what recent performances have been. I thought we looked sharp first 10-15 minutes. Phil, Bernardo, Savinho, who I've just spoke about there, early making some great runs. Defensively we look sound, and it just seems to be that every little tiny mistake at the minute we're getting punished. You know, we keep saying it every week. Great goal to put us 1-0 up, and then yet again we missed a chance with Bernardo, and it seems every time we miss a big chance, the team a couple of minutes later goes up and scores again. So but positive performance, frustrating with the result, but I think the performance has been so much better.
Yeah, I mean, it did feel that. I mean, bar the goal we conceded, which we'll come to, I mean, it really was some lovely controlled, you know, bossing possession, Kovacic, Phil, Bernardo linking up lovely. Felt like what we're used to seeing with City at the Etihad for, I'd say, you know, 35, 40 minutes of that half, Steve.
Yeah, I mean, it was quite intense, the pressure that City were putting on them. There was a couple of half chances you could see Phil Foden looking for that ball over the top for Erling Haaland. A couple of times he got in, but just, in fairness, Pickford's starting point's not too bad, so he's managed to sort of block them. But you knew there was a goal going to come. Yeah. And of course, to get that goal, little bit of fortune, but that's, you know, you'll take that considering the sort of bad fortune that the team has had. And then, as Dickie said, and I think Andy's mentioned as well, there's the chance there for Bernardo. Does he, when he takes on his left foot to try and bend it in, can he take with his right foot, and it's more just kind of sliding it in a little bit? I mean, the manager will be delighted with that, because I do think the intensity of the first half's been very good. Yeah. They're going to have little bits in opposition team, but it's the Premier League. He'd be just sort of saying to the lads, we've just got to keep on going, you know, and eventually you will get those breaks.
Yeah, and we got that break 14 minutes in. We mentioned him before the game as well. Captain in the side today, Bernardo Silva. Talk us through the goal, please.
Yeah, I think the midfield three of Kovacic, Phil and Bernardo have been outstanding.
Agreed.
Dominated the ball, but just not for the sake of dominating. They've been looking to really make things happen. But yeah, little build up, ball gets to Doku, and how many times we see a midfielder on that little inside left, inside right channel making the run, and he's got in there, he's had a shot, took a little slight deflection, little spin into the corner, but we'll take that little bit of luck at the minute, 'cause we've not done it. And you know, great run, great move from Bernardo, great movement, 'cause he actually started it way further back in there and then ended up being the furthest man forward. And at 1-0 you're looking at it and you're thinking more than well deserved, because we were so on top at the time.
We were indeed. Then we had that other chance that came from Bernardo not long after that. Haaland with a few miscontrol, well, not miscontrol, just couldn't quite get the ball under control, should I say. Phil finding him, and then Steve, and I know we keep saying this, a little bit unlucky, but what could we have done better with the goal, and how did that play out? Because as much as obviously it is frustrating, it's mad, isn't it, that it's the coincidence of it's the same again. One chance really ends up in the back of our net.
Yeah, but again, this is, you know, you're playing at the highest level, and if you make little mistakes, you seem to get punished. Well, City seem to be getting punished. I mean, first of all, you've got Coleman. He's in acres and acres of space. You know, somebody you would have thought would be tracking him, or at least being somewhere near him.
Yeah.
That's not the case. The ball gets whipped into the box. It gets cleared. There's balls up in the air, and it's a tough touch to take for Doku, but it gets away from him. Then the ball comes in the box. You can see Kanji's kind of throwing his leg at it. It is at one of those funny heights. It's kind of in his shin height when you lift it up, so he can't get much connection on it. And I think if you look at Rico, he's blocked off, so he doesn't know. I mean, he knows there's a man behind him, but if he opens his body up, he might be able to adjust a little bit better. But you know, take nothing away. The lad takes a touch, and it's a brilliant finish.
Yeah.
The goalkeeper's got absolutely no chance, and it just seems really for their first real chance.
Felt like that.
It's in the back of the net.
Yeah, Bite and Die, who we signalled at the pre-match show, Paul. Even listening to that, and again, it feels like it's not just kind of one thing; it's a collection of, do you know, someone not getting out to the defender, then a miscontrolled, you know, challenge in the box, then a Kanji. It's not just like one thing; it's like an accumulation of everyone playing a part in our defence.
And sometimes when we break down goals, it's not just one error.
No.
It's 2 or 3 little mistakes that end up causing you big problems. You know, and Steve said when the ball's coming out there, and it's a difficult one for Jeremy because it's a tough one to take, but if anything, he's tried to take his touch and turn the guy at the same time.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? When you're in that position, 20-25 yards from your goal, you take a touch and protect the ball.
Yes.
You know, and then when the crosses come in, Akanji's sort of stretching, can't quite get there, and Rico's tucked in a little bit too much, not knowing what's behind him.
Yeah.
And these little things, but you know, it's one chance they've had all game, and you've got to give them. It's a great touch, and no backlift with the finish, putting it right in the side net, and so. But as Steve said before, Pep will be in there. I'm really happy with him.
Yeah.
I think the performance has been really good.
Yeah.
We just need to start the second half with the same intensity, because the big thing for me, I think the intensity with and without the ball today has been so much better than what it has been recently. We look a lot sharper, we look a lot brighter, we look a lot fitter. So we've just got to continue that into the second half.
And I guess as well, it's important that they're the things, because we know we're quite fragile at the moment and confidence is low. You have to focus on all the positives and not worry about maybe the things that aren't necessarily going our way, or maybe we could be a little bit better at, Steve.
There's no good, you know, thinking about the past. The past is the past. You've just got to get on, and you basically just got to say, right, boys, let's start the second half the way that we did the first half, and then they can build on that. You know, they've conceded a goal. All right, so what? You conceded a goal. Let's move on. And as I said, the manager, and we both sort of said the manager will be sort of saying, and the players should be sort of saying, listen, yeah, we've conceded, but 1-1. You know, we're playing at home, we've got our fans behind us. You know, let's push on, and I'm sure they can do that.
And with the confidence thing, we keep coming back to that word, but you could feel, even watching the plays, but that goal goes in, you know, it's the same. Here we are again. How do they go about bringing themselves out of that? Obviously, Pep has a role to play in that. Getting a win, I'm sure, will play a big part.
Just got to keep doing the right things. It's a boring thing to say, but if anything, I thought the reaction to the goal was really good.
Yeah.
You know, the last couple of weeks we've conceded. The next 10 minutes have been really, really flat. But we look sharp, we look bright, we look as if we wanted to go and get that second goal before half time. So I've just got to keep believing in themselves. These are top players. You know, and they've just got to keep believing it. We're the best manager in the world, and things will come good if they keep doing the right things. And sometimes it's not sticking the ball in the top corner from 20 yards or an overhead kick or a goal that's got 40 passes. It's the basics that gets you through these things. And you do the basics right from your top players, you're going to win games.
And I guess getting that win to take us out this little bit of a rut that we're in, and the chance as well, then we've got another game in literally like 2-3 days against Leicester. If you get kind of 2 wins there, possibly back-to-back wins, I'm guessing that can be such an instant mood changer and lifter for the whole squad and the energy around camp and in the changing room.
Well, it does. I mean, winning games, you know, it makes everybody happy and everybody gets confident. I mean, even if, you know, you'd like to think that they win this game, the positives that they can take from that is, yes, we started very, very well. Yeah, they had one chance and it's a goal, but we didn't let our head go down. You know, we came back, we stuck together as a team. We did our jobs individually and collectively, and we got over the line and we got the win at the end. And if that does happen at the end of the game, that is a huge positive as well, because they can sort of say, listen, it didn't go our way for that spell. It would have been easy just to dip, and as Dickie said, you know, when they've conceded, that it's been flat. It wasn't. So that's a huge positive.
Yeah, absolutely. On the Everton point of view, Paul, nothing away from then. I mean, we've seen they've come into this in some good form, 2 clean sheets. I've been impressed by also what I've seen from this Everton team, given the conversation around them at the start of the season. I wanted to get your thoughts on them.
Yeah, look, they've got some good players, good experienced players as well.
Yeah.
Defensively, you know, we talked about two centre-halves beforehand. They're putting blocks in left, right and centre. Seamus Coleman's experience as they come. The midfield 3 have got a lot of energy, and we spoke about the 2 wide players in Calvert-Lewin. So, you know, as Steve was saying, that there's no bad teams and no bad players in the Premier League. They're all here because they're top class, and if anything, we should take a positive out of that, because previous 2 games, the teams we're talking about have struggled to break them down, and we have looked like breaking them down on numerous occasions now. But look, they defend for their lives. You know, Tarkowski's sliding in, making blocks left, right, and centre, heading everything that comes in. But you've just got to keep putting the ball in there.
Is it kind of, Pep spoke about obviously facing Sean Dyche, you know, coming up against him at Burnley, now at Everton. Does it make it a little bit easier, say, for an Everton team when they know how they're going to, what the City team they're going to come up against, but also what they have to do is just more about keeping us out? Is that kind of lean into their favour a little bit?
I think for any team that comes to the Etihad, it's all about trying to frustrate City, trying to keep it 0-0. I mean, even if, you know, they're creating loads of chances, if they're not scoring them, it's still 0-0. I think the worrying thing for Pep, if that was the case, is if his team's not creating chances, but they are creating chances. And as I sort of said, the law of averages, if you create enough chances, something's going to fall for you. And as I said, we had a little bit of luck with Bernardo's goal with that spin right at the end. But these boys, you know, in the tunnel now, so we're sort of looking forward to the second half, thinking, right, okay, it's 1-1, let's push on again. You know, we've got a perfect opportunity now at 1-1 to go on, win this game, and possibly that could be the start of a decent run.
Absolutely, thank you, Steve. And as we can see, it doesn't look like there'll be any changes. Some final instructions there from Pep, and as we know, if there's a man that can inspire them and will get them ready for that second half, Paul, it's that man there. They look like they're ready for it. So listen, I'll hand back to our commentary team as they make their way back out to the pitch. Come join me, Steve Owen, Paul Dickov at full times. Currently Manchester City 1, Everton 1.